Okay, so I've spent a little time adding some annotation, and I'll zoom in here so you can see what I've written. I've labeled the gypsum wallboard, the fiberglass, the finished floor, subfloor. I've labeled on the joist, it's size 2x10 floor joist, and on the exterior, where we have our siding, I've labeled 8-inch fiber cement board siding and 1/2-inch plywood sheathing. Just as a general start for you to think about adding notes to your technical drawings. We haven't worried about any kind of detail up here, except I did change the roof, and that really had to do with the 3D view. And I'll show you what I did. I added the wood shakes as the sheet as a shingle. So if I click into this, I'll go to that, and you can see I took the basic roof that we had and I made a custom roof of it. And let's click into that and see what I've done. So I duplicated the generic roof we started with, called it a custom roof. And then the only change I made was I added a 1/2-inch piece of structure above the base area on the top here. And I gave that the wooden shake material. And I had that handy if you have siding, if you have any kind of shingle or something available to you, or you can search for something and add it on. But I thought that was important to help that read a little better. So that was the only change I made there. Now there is one more thing I wanted to do. I'm going to click out of this by hitting right-clicking and going deactivate the view. And I want to zoom in here, and we have this. These both have relatively generic names right now, and I want to change those. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to rename the 3D view by right-clicking on it and going to rename, and I'm going to call that model section view. And you'll notice that automatically updates that. And then I'm going to take the section and I'm going to right-click to rename it, and we'll call that a wall section. I'll call it typical wall section. Because that's basically the full construction of what a structure may be, detailing, all kinds of the typical exterior walls on a building with common floor plates. And I'll click off of that, and now we have that idea of the typical wall section being updated in that label area. So that looks pretty good for this project, and all we need to do now, besides saving it, would be to export it as